na 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 na. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam, na 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 na. Jaya Tam Suratarpanga Mama Manda Matirgati Matsarvasva Padamboja Radha Madana Mohana. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam, Jaya Sri Vrindavan Dham, Pavana Radha Tiruna, Pavana Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam, Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam, Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dinabandhu, Jagatpati.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Today I'm addressing you from our base, a school actually, along the Baltic Sea coast in Poland, where we're holding our 31st annual Festival of India tour. Can't really say annual because, well, for the last 2 years we haven't been up here on the coast because of the pandemic. It was difficult not to be here. We felt so much separation from our programs, from the people actually. And the people themselves, I can see already, because we've done 2 festivals, they were also feeling separation from us in a big way. They're very glad to have us back on the coast. I attribute this to the fact that this Sankirtan movement, in its variegated forms, is the internal potency of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It can only be that. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Daiviyesha Gunamayi, that this divine energy of mine consisting of the 3 modes of material nature is very difficult to overcome. However, Krishna is all attractive, and if we present him in a nice way through our preaching activities, people are naturally going to be attracted, especially when we go out and chant Hare Krishna on the streets. That's how we advertise our programs. We go out, large number of devotees, and a very beautiful Sankirtan party, beautiful melodies, nice chanting, and people are attracted. And then we give them invitation. We do about 10,000 invitations a day to invite people to our festivals. Krishna's present in the sound of his name. Actually, even more so, all of Krishna's pastimes are also present in the sound of his names. That I read just this morning. I wanted to share this with you. It's a verse by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Harinam Chintamani 231. He writes, Krishnara Samagra Lila Name Vidyamana Namase Parama Tattva Tamara Vidhana. The entire panorama of Lord Krishna's pastimes is present in the Hare Krishna mantra. Lord Chaitanya has personally declared the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to be the highest absolute truth. So no wonder people are attracted to Harinam. Actually, I was the first festival that we held in a town called Nihozhev. We came back from Harinam, and people were already assembling at the festival, and I went to the restaurant, and there was one lady there, and she kind of grabbed me, and she said, "Sir, I remember you. I want you to know that I have been waiting anxiously 2 years for you to come back." That was the first festival. I thought this was going to be an auspicious summer. And when I gave my lecture that evening, amongst the many shows that we have on stage. I give a lecture for about 40 minutes on Bhagavad Gita. Afterwards, one lady came up to me and she said, you know, I've been listening to you for many years. She said, I've actually memorized your philosophy and I've read all of your books, but I needed you to come back to remind me how important it is. Thank you so much for your talk. When you hear things like that, you know, whatever austerities you have to undergo in pushing forward this movement, it's all worth it. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also said one time, my dear Lord, difficulties encountered in your service are my greatest pleasure. And I finally come to realize that. That first festival, I also met a family who was very eager to take a photo with me, like really eager. And I said, okay, I was busy, but I said, okay, I took the time. And then afterwards, they pulled out a photo, they say, which they keep on a table in their living room of me with them 15 years ago. And they said, we wanted an update, but we had to wait 2 years. I also met a lady who told me she's been coming for 30 years. Like, wow, 30 years to our event. And she said that she went through an extremely difficult time during the pandemic and she needed help, but she realized she needed spiritual help. So she was lamenting. She said, I never bought that book that you always show during your lecture. I never bought that book. Now I want to buy that book. I'm sure that will help me. She said, I walked all the way from my village. I'm a poor lady, but I've saved enough money to buy that book. So this is all the internal potency of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it's so enlivening to see. It gives you so much faith to see how the people respond to Mahaprabhu's movement.
Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dinabandhu, Jagatpati, Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta, Namastuti, Tapta Kanchana, Gorangi, Radhe, Vrindavan Ishwari, Vrishabhanu, Sute Devi, Pranamami, Hare Priye, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam, Jaya Sri Vrindavan Dham, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam, Jaya Sri Vrindavan Dham.
Of course, it wasn't easy for us to put it all back together again. 2 years is a long time. Many of our devotees, how can I say, scattered to the four corners of the world. It wasn't sure we could even do it again. Our finances dried up. We had to get permissions again from new people who were in that particular job or those bureaus. We had to pull out all our material. We have tons and tons of, I think something like we have 18 tons of material altogether, including our trucks and our vans, etc. To take it all out of storage and get it back together again. It was something like the phoenix rising from the ashes. That's how I thought it. That's how I think of it. We were encouraged, however, by many of the mayors and the city councils in the villages up here, because this is I guess you could say, the main place in Poland where people come for their vacation. And they called us and they said, look, pandemic's down a little bit. Can you please come back? Because it's been a tough 2 years and we need you to bring some festivity, some color, what did one mayor say, and some joy to our town. And Nandini and Jayatam, who have done, they get the credit for all the organization. They were telling me that sometimes these mayors are fighting over the dates. Of course we're going to do 50 festivals this summer. But there's certain dates that, important dates on the calendar that they would love to have us there. So sometimes the mayors are quarreling. So I said to Nandini, what do you do? She said, I flip a coin. So we had to put it all back together again. Not easy, and it's not exactly like it was before, in the sense that, because of what's happening in the world, what's happening here in Europe, especially, our manpower is down 50%. Usually we require about 250 devotees to do this event, and we have 110 now. Due to the war going on in Ukraine, due to the economy, due to so many things, our devotees themselves had, fixed jobs after 2 years. This takes a huge amount of manpower. We have 110 devotees, men and ladies. A number of them are Ukrainian refugees, actually. We've taken them in, and they're very talented devotees. It's helped our stage show actually a lot. But I find many devotees doing the work of 4 devotees. Our school base is quite small, not like the schools we had before. There's only room for about 80 devotees, so others are sleeping outside. Cold showers this year. Many newcomers are not used to the intense schedule, but they agree. I've told them many times that it's this tour, it's kind of like to be a special commando to be on this tour. It's like drinking hot sugar juice. The schedule is so intense. It burns the lips a little bit, but you can't stop when you see the reactions of the people. I was thinking this morning that, we have a festival every day, and that takes a lot of preparation, a lot of follow-up as well. It's something like, I can compare it to a Janmashtami festival or Radhastami festival in ISKCON temple. It's on that level. And then, after that event in one of our temples in our movement, it takes the temple a week to recover. We don't have a week to recover. We have to go out the next day and spread the chanting all over and encourage people to come and put on that event. So these are, I guess you could say, what we would say, it's all happening again, the Gora Shakti, the internal potency of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I can say with all honesty that these are the modern day pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These are the modern day pastimes because he predicted the movement would go and spread. We hear for the next 10,000 years in particular, this described, that period described as the golden age of Kali Yuga, Sankirtan movement. So it's really difficult to get back together. There's a lot of austerities, but it's nice to be part of the prediction. It's nice to be part of the prediction. And we see that prediction through the eyes of the people, how much they enjoy embracing Krishna consciousness.
Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dinabandhu, Jagatpate, Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta, Namastute, Tapta Kancha, Gorangi, Radhe, Vrindavan Ishwari, Vishabhana, Sute Devi, pranamami Hare priye. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radhe Jaya Shyam, Jaya Radhe Jaya Shyam, Jaya Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Radhe Jaya Shyam, Jaya Radhe Jaya Shyam, Jaya Sri Vrindavan Dham.
It was predicted. One of my favorite verses is by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in his book Sri Gauranga Mahima. He has written, this is verse 62, and this is speaking about all the members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness who, in their own ways, Sankirtan means the complete glorification of the Lord. So every devotee in this movement is contributing in some way that makes it complete and makes it potent and spreads the Sankirtan movement. So all of you get the credit. And here's a prediction of everything that we're all doing for under Srila Prabhupada's guidance, the Sankirtan movement. He writes, "From the time that the holy name of Hare became manifest on the earth, the Vaishnava folk became everywhere. Adorned with faultless tilak and neck beads, equipped with the Maha Mantra, in this manner they became present in the very midst of the age of Kali, where they purified the atmosphere, chanting Hare, Hare." So it's such so wonderful to be, a privilege to be part of this movement, and the real reward, again, for us is to see the people coming forward and not only liking but loving Krishna consciousness. One of the things that inspired me to, make the phoenix come out of the ashes this year was remembering just a few years ago after one of our puppet shows for the children, because we actually make this an event for the family. It's a family affair. There has to be something for the children, for the young adults, for the parents, and even for the grandparents. There's something for everyone. I remember when one of our theater was finished, puppet show for children, there was everyone applauded, there was a big applause, and there was kind of a moment of silence waiting. They were waiting for what happened next before the master of ceremonies came on the stage. So suddenly a little girl, she must have been about 7 or 8 years old, she stood up, because the play was about Krishna in Vrindavan. There was a beautiful puppet of Krishna and the Balaram and the gopis, and there were big demons and cowherd boys. So she stood up on her mother's lap, and I could see her from a distance, and she screamed out very loud, "Mommy, I want Krishna!" For me, that was worth all the tapasya I've done through these decades in organizing and putting on this festival. "Mommy, I want Krishna!" And just the other day, actually, one mother of a devotee who was unfortunately very antagonistic many years ago, very antagonistic. Finally, after so many years, I think it's like 20 years, her daughter, who's my disciple, brought her to the festival. And we met, and it was cordial. It was cordial. But she sat through my lecture, and at the end she said to her daughter, "That was wonderful," she said. "I want that book. Please buy me that book." There you go. The internal potency of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to touch the hearts of these people by his holy name, by his philosophy, by his food, by his devotees association. So it's wonderful to be out here, and everyone, please keep us in your prayers. You bless us. A lot of hard work. service to do. It's a little cold at this first part of the summer, and please keep us in your prayers that we can be successful in fulfilling Prabhupada's words. He said one time, we will take the world over by culture. So we're trying our best to present it in an attractive way, in a professional way, very professional way, in an entertaining, fun way, and most important, filled with Krishna bhakti, with devotion to Krishna, which I think is the ultimate thing that touches the people's hearts. So stay with us. We'll have some more videos throughout the summer. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, who took this Sankirtan movement from India and brought it to the Western world to flood the world with the sublime process of Krishna consciousness. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Sri Vrindavan Dham. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam, Jaya Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shyam.